Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Hitman Absolution. Betrayed by the agency and hunted by the police, you find yourself pursuing redemption in a corrupt and twisted world. Players around the globe are saying that this is one of the best, or maybe even the best Hitman game. It has a kinda predictable story, but it doesn't really matter. The gameplay and your approach to missions makes all the difference. Will you disguise yourself as a policeman, crazy convict, butcher, or a doctor of ding-dongs? You never know until you play. This game kinda teaches us that other people will always judge you by your clothes. And if you're not agreeing with me, come on, dress like a clown for your next job interview. Or, like a priest and try to get a job in the kindergarten.
I accept that challenge.
Anyway, this is a great game, and I think that if you have never played anything from the Hitman franchise, this is a great game to start. And now I want to present a sponsor of this video, Super Power Bank for Steam Deck. From it you can charge your Steam Deck about 2 times, and the charging speed is really impressive. Yeah, so press the link below and get your super power bank now and enjoy longer gaming sessions than ever before. Imagine all the long journeys you can take without worrying that your deck will run out of juice. Or just a simple play session at home without being attached to the electrical outlet. That's totally worth it. One of the coolest features is that it attaches to your Steam Deck with this special clip, and you can't accidentally drop it, because it attaches the power bank to Steam Deck with unbreakable force. Well, you have to pull up to remove it, but even if you hold it upside down, for whatever reason, I don't wanna know, the clip holds like a boss. That is so cool. And the holder attaches to your deck very easily. It also has heat dissipation openings for better performance during gaming. You don't need to worry about that. And you can charge not only your Steam Deck, but also mobile phones or tablets, or your R2-D2, or... well, that won't work. You have to feed this one manually. The package includes 2 free cables, a short wire for carrying the power bank with you, and a 1-meter wire for charging various devices you may have. It has a battery light indicator for charge status, so it's easy to see how much energy it still has. The price is very nice, free shipping is included, and the reviews are provided by a third party, so there is no doubt about the quality of the product. So press the link below and enjoy longer and more comfortable gaming sessions than ever before. Grim Dawn. Among all the games similar to Diablo, there is no doubt that Grim Dawn is one of the best examples ever made in this field. More than 90% of positive reviews can confirm that with ease. Here you'll be able to enjoy the dual class system. Combine any of 6 distinct classes with over 25 skills and modifiers per class, meaning that your hero will definitely be some kind of unique abomination nobody else has. Although I can say from my own experience, if you are playing for the first time, don't do that. Swallow your dignity and just watch some tutorial of the most powerful build possible, because otherwise you may end like me. You will nurture a warrior who does cool magic, but later in the game is completely useless, and that drop of quality is huge, from a Gandalf to a Las Vegas magician.
I will tell Pen Gillette about this blasphemy. He will make you disappear.
Oh, no, please don't.
It's too late for that.
Severed Steel. Here you will play as a woman named Steel. You have a prosthetic arm and you use it to navigate the levels, which adds an interesting and unique element to the gameplay. And although Steel has no arm, she's not armless, if you know what I mean. Honestly, here you'll find a huge arsenal of arms, just not arms. The game's physics engine can be a little bit wild at times, which makes for some hilarious moments when enemies get flung around like ragdolls. And with a killer soundtrack that perfectly matches the game's pace, Severed Steel is really fun to play. Whether you are a hardcore FPS fan or just looking for a casual game, I think it's worth your time. It has more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and that is always a proof of a good game. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is an awesome game. Well, 3 remastered games in one remade with shiny new graphics and details. Although I must admit that the graphics of the first part are still morally old. So the more you play, the more beautiful the game gets. So don't expect miracles, these are all the games with not so fancy overhaul as Crysis franchise. First Mass Effect was released in 2007, so really long time ago. Anyway, if you like science fiction space operas, Mass Effect is one of the best there is. It has a great plot, many twisted turns of events, mysteries on every corner, giant robots, giant spaceships, and giant space stations. Everything is giant here. It's also full of great characters as well, and it has about 90% of positive reviews on Steam. By buying Legendary Edition, you will get all 3 remastered Mass Effect games with all the DLCs and other stuff included and remade in one huge game. The Last Campfire. This is an adventure, a story of a lost ember trapped in a puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. You'll travel deeper into the lands beyond the dark forest and overcome the adversities before you. Discover beautiful wilderness filled with lost inhabitants, strange creatures, and mysterious ruins. 97% of all people who bought this game are recommending it to you. People on Steam are talking that this is a beautiful story-driven game filled with great art and even greater music. The puzzles game throws at you ranges from fairly easy to a medium. Nothing will bend your brains inside out in this game. If you fail here somehow, it's a pure problem of your IQ, I'm sorry. If you are in doubt, you can try the demo version on Steam for free. Iratus, Lord of the Dead. This is a turn-based tactical roguelite RPG set in a dark fantasy universe. You'll have to lead an army of undead to reach the surface world and bring death to the mortal realms. You know, they lack death on the surface, so you are ready to supply the demand. So you will control an obedient army of the living dead. You know, all the classic monsters. Skeletons, zombies, banshees... other unliving warriors, I swear, I know more. And you will create your soldiers the only way a necromancer knows how, from the body parts of your slain enemies. Iratus definitely has a high replayability due to different minion composition in your team. Also, there are multiple different pathways to take when it comes to finishing the game. The main story will take up to 12 hours of your boring life. Sniper Elite 4. You will discover a sniping freedom, experience tactical third-person combat, gameplay choice, and epic long shots across huge levels as you liberate wartime Italy from the grip of fascism. I guess those fascists you sent to the eternal gardens of Mussolinium are not so keen to be liberated and would want to crack your skull instead, so it won't be an easy jog in a park, rather a fun, intense sniping party. The plot is set across the beautiful Italian peninsula, from sun-drenched Mediterranean coastal towns to ancient forests, mountain valleys, and colossal Nazi megastructures. People are saying that the game is extremely satisfying and you can even shoot another sniper through his scope. A legendary shot, and I have no doubt that you will get an achievement for this. Overall, you will find 85 achievements here, and collecting them in this game is very fun. Killing Floor 2. You will descend into continental Europe, where the outbreak caused by a failed experiment has quickly spread and gained unstoppable momentum, essentially paralyzing the European Union. Well, that sucks, I live here. The monster clones are everywhere and civilization is in disarray. Communications have failed, governments have collapsed, and military forces have been systematically eradicated. The people of Europe know survival and self-preservation too well, and lucky survivors have gone into hiding. Well, all except you and your friends. You kill the monster scum and make Europe great again. You'll find a bunch of playable characters in online co-op mode, or solo mode if you are willing to brave the horrific mutants alone. Also, the game has cool versus survival game mode, a 12-player PvP match where two teams take turns playing humans versus monsters. The game has around 90% of positive reviews, so it's probably the shooter you were looking for. XCOM 2. What can I say, this is a legendary turn-based game, a franchise to which all similar games are compared. So here 20 years have passed since world leaders offered an unconditional surrender to alien forces. XCOM, the planet's last line of defense, was left decimated and scattered. Now the aliens rule Earth, building breathtaking cities that promise a brilliant future with lots of potato salad for humanity, but at the same time concealing a sinister agenda of putting pineapples in every food you like and eliminating all who dissent from their new order. All you have to do is to regain control of the Earth. It may sound easy, and it is, because you are awesome and aliens suck balls. Show them who's the boss. Just keep in mind that the game is addictive. I've seen guys with 4,000 hours of gameplay on record. That's half a year of gameplay, and if you include sleep and bathroom breaks, you get a whole year. That is crazy, be careful. SteamWorld Dig 2. Game takes you on a mining adventure forged in Metroidvania flames. When an old trading town is struck by mysterious earthquakes, it's up to you, a lone steambot, along with your unlikely companion, to uncover what trembling terrors lies beneath. And you know what you will uncover deep below?
Your fat mama snoring.
Oh, come on, no, it's a secret and you will have to discover it by yourself. So you will dig your way underground and explore vivid worlds riddled with treasure, secrets, and deadly traps. Fight dangerous enemies at every turn of the underworld, including shadowy creatures and the haunted remains of an ancient electrical threat. Well, this game is obviously story-rich, and that is awesome. Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order. This is one of my favorite games I have ever played. Yeah, I am a fan of Star Wars, and my whole childhood I dreamed of becoming a Sith. So I could teach people I don't like a lesson. A lesson of... From all Souls-like games, Fallen Order had the most satisfying combat I've seen since the times of the third Witcher, and I probably liked it so much because it reminded me of those sword dances I did as a Geralt. The game started slow, but the more I played, the more powerful I got. You know, skills like running on walls or throwing spinning lightsaber into a bunch of puny enemies are not given to you all at once. At the beginning you suck as a Jedi, even some random rat can kill you if you are not careful enough. So I died a lot. But later I became a real combat god because I discovered a story mode difficulty. Yeah, this is a Souls-like game even noobs like me can enjoy. Assassin's Creed Origins. Ancient Egypt, a land of majesty and intrigue, is disappearing in a ruthless fight for power. He will unveil dark secrets and forgotten myths as you go back to one founding moment, the origins of Assassin's Brotherhood. People are talking that this is one of the best Assassin's Creed games they have ever played. It has a great combat system, almost no bugs, and only bad comments are from grumpy old dudes who can't cope with the fact that this is now a role-playing game. Although I must admit that if you are not a fan of an ancient Egypt, this setting can seem a bit boring. Some settings are really overused and not interesting anymore. You know, like Egyptian, ancient Greek, Viking or Latvian mythology. You know, especially the Latvian one with all that Lachplisis and Zirga Galva everywhere you go. State of Decay, Juggernaut Edition. This is an open-world survival game set just after the zombie apocalypse. Your small community of survivors seeks to rebuild a corner of civilization, and you get to make all the decisions about how that happens. So, knowing you, humanity is doomed, and it's all your fault. For those who are concerned, this is a single-player game with an option to play co-op. So, this is not some MMO or online shooter battle royale with zombies, no, this is a serious game with base building, RPG mechanics, and permanent death. Yeah, that doesn't sound cool, but believe me, it is very good for immersion. You won't be jogging around with your PP out, swinging left and right. You be careful and take the game seriously instead. You will decide who to recruit to your team, where to settle your community, how to fortify and upgrade your base. You will select which survivor to bring along on a scavenging run for the ammo or ingredients for delicious potato salad, and who you use to fight off the zombies attacking your base. People on Steam are saying that this game has probably the closest feeling to The Walking Dead show, and a very positive review score is a proof of that. Thief Simulator. If you always wanted to become a thief, good for you. Dive into the life of crime, don't hesitate. You got this. Or you can play this game where you can train and become a thief before becoming a real thief. I'm kidding, of course.
Or am I?
You will steal in a free-roam sandbox neighborhoods. You will have to observe your target and gather information that will help you with the burglary. Gather your courage, take the challenge and rob the best secured houses. Buy some high-tech burglar equipment and learn new thief tricks. You can also sell stolen goods and do anything that a real thief does. Injustice 2 Legendary Edition. So this is basically the same as Mortal Kombat, just with different characters and no gore. You can't pull out the backbone through the mouth of your adversary, and if you want to do that, you are looking at the wrong game. So you can actually play this one with your 5-year-old niece and be embarrassed when she tears another asshole in your body with her awesome fighting skills. Nah, I'm kidding, kids are not good at games, and because it's forbidden to beat them in real life, you can at least do that in this game. Don't hold back, show them who's the boss. So in this version you will get 10 additional characters, including Teenage Mutant Ninja Snakes, or lizards, can't remember. Anyway, here you can become Batman as well, and beat everyone on easy difficulty. You got this. Borderlands 3. You blast through weird worlds and enemies as one of 4 World Hunters, the ultimate treasure-seeking badasses of the Borderlands, each with deep skill trees, abilities and customization. So in this looter-shooter RPG you will play solo or join the battle with friends to take on an epic enemies, score loads of loot and save your home from the most ruthless cult leaders in the galaxy. With bazillions of guns and gadgets, every fight is an opportunity to score new gear, and that gear is more than crazy. Firearms with self-propelling bullet shields? Check. Rifles that spawn fire-spewing volcanoes? Obviously. Guns that grow legs and chase down enemies while cursing? Yeah, got that too. On Steam, Borderlands 3 is an owner of very positive reviews, so it's a no-brainer if you like shoot and loot. Just grab the game and be happy. Make your enemies unhappy by making them die. Ancestors Legacy. This is a real-time strategy game influenced by historical events of the Middle Ages. Ancestors Legacy combines resource management and base building with large-scale squad-based battles across vast battlefields. It is all rendered in great detail with Unreal Engine 4. You will experience medieval bloodshed and can enjoy a cinematic action camera that puts you right in the middle of the battle. People on Steam are saying that Ancestors Legacy is easy to learn and it's like chess. It involves a lot of strategy, so the more you play, the better you become. Basically, here a lot of options to crush the enemy lie in the plain sight, but only the master strategist can see them all. So the more you play, the easier the game will seem. Or not, you know, we all have our limits, and sometimes our limit is below the requirements of a victory. Tower of Time. This is a story-rich dungeon crawler with innovative real-time combat that lets you pause or slow time. And here you have to turn on your brain if you want to succeed. And I mean it, every battle is specially designed to be a tactical puzzle, so it might be a bit challenging. Or impossible, depends on your IQ, I guess. Well, you can always adjust the difficulty, but that is an instant insult to your brain power, isn't it? Also because of that, the game is really suitable for fans of the genre and not so friendly for new players. Tower of Time will burn about 50 hours of your boring lifetime as you enjoy handcrafted levels and interesting story. Here you'll also find thousands of pieces of loot and equipment. Prey. The game has a really cool story that has you playing as a scientist exploring a place infested by an alien life form. Yeah, I bet you heard that somewhere. A few dozen, 100 million times. Despite that, aliens are really nice here. Well, by saying nice, I mean that they are the opposite of nice. You wouldn't want to chat with them about video games or best beer kinds in the universe or, you know, the best recipe for potato salad. No, they are terrifying creatures. Although, as I always say, not as terrifying as people who put pineapple in potato salad. Those are the worst. Just imagine this space station filled with them. Prey is a thriller, but that tiny change would make it one of the scariest horror games ever. So anyway, Prey gives you a variety of weapons to use along with superpowers like telepathy or the ability to trick enemies by turning yourself into everyday items. Yeah, it may sound like nonsense, but it's not. You can truly acquire alien abilities and use them by stopping time or turning yourself into a bottle of beer, and then you can roll around like crazy. Not suspicious at all. Well, this ability of turning yourself into a stuff could probably spice up the love life of you and your wife or imaginary girlfriend. I don't judge. But first you have to defeat the space evil and escape from the space station alive, and with all the parts intact needed for, you know, spiciness. In Sound Mind. This is a survival horror where you will experience a series of haunting memories. You will take on a journey through a progression of unsettling stories, each with unique puzzles, mechanics, weapons, and boss fights. Basically, here you play as a town therapist and dive into the strange worlds of your patients. The game is a bit scary and plays as a psychological thriller. All the levels are unique and all of them hold a certain ominous atmosphere, so it will definitely grow some hair on your mental balls. People on Steam are saying that almost nobody expected the game to be this good for this price, and I totally recommend it for you as well. Spirit of the North. This is a single-player, third-person adventure game inspired by the mysterious, breathtaking landscapes of Iceland. The story takes root from various pieces of Nordic folklore. Here you play as an ordinary red fox whose story becomes entwined with the guardian of the Northern Lights, a magical spirit fox. As you journey over the mountains and under red-stained skies, you'll discover more about your companion and land left in ruin. The game is uniquely designed to have no dialogue or narration. You know, foxes do not talk, or do they? What does the fox say? I'm sorry, you probably forgot this song exists, but now it will be stuck again like an earworm in your head for a long time. You are welcome. So, Spirit of the North is an adventure game with strong puzzle elements, so be sure you like to use your IQ, if you have one. Phantom Doctrine. I think most of you have never heard about this title. You'll get more than 40 hours of single-player campaign, featuring a rich plot with numerous historical events and characters to bring the terrifying reality of the Cold War to life. So basically this is an XCOM game, but instead of aliens you have spies. Mostly positive review rating is because of the flaws in the mechanics, and for various glitches. For example, when hidden bodies miraculously disappear, just like your money on every Steam sale. But people who liked the game liked it very much. I found several reviews with about 200 hours of game time, and that is impressive, meaning that this may be a hidden gem for any turn-based game lover, and today the price is just right. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. This is a hardcore tactical stealth game set in medieval Japan around the Edo period. You will take control of a team of deadly specialists and sneak into the shadows between dozens of enemies. Choose your approach when infiltrating mighty castles, snowy mountain monasteries, and hidden forest camps. Set traps, poison your opponents, or completely avoid enemy contact. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score, meaning that for this price it is a masterpiece. Although keep in mind that the game sometimes may prove to be insanely difficult and some missions are beyond hard to crack. So be sure that you have not forgotten how to use that tiny, not very important organ between your ears, because you will need it more than ever. People on Steam are talking that if you like classic Commandos or Desperado 3 for example, this game for sure is your spoon of potato salad. Warhammer 40k Gladius: Relics of War. That's a long-ass name, I give them that. The game has a very positive review score and 90% discount. That is great, but of course there is a catch. If you like the game, keep in mind that there are about 13 DLCs available. So yeah, that's a trap for your wallet, but it may be a pleasant one. Maybe you like to suffer, I don't judge. Anyway, Warhammer 40,000 Gladius: Relics of War brings you a world of terror and violence with a turn-based 4X strategy game. You'll face a challenging AI and cooperate or compete with friends and strangers across the globe. Play as one of 4 iconic Warhammer factions, each with their own unique playstyle and technology tree. Explore a randomly generated world filled with special features and threatening wildlife that can crush your troops' morale. People on Steam are talking that this is a great strategy game, but as I've mentioned before, many say that without DLCs it feels incomplete. Well, this price is a joke, so you can risk it anyway. The Beast Inside. Here you'll play as a CIA employee, Adam, who leaves a huge city and moves to the countryside with his wife. All you need is to work in peace and silence on some secret military code that could change the outcome of the Cold War, so the countryside looks like a perfect choice. And as it turns out, absolutely unexpectedly, this area is quite opposite of a peaceful place. Game is basically a walking simulator, but in most dangerous situations you will be able to use your gun and shoot your way out. That is the worst part psychologically. You know, when you are in an ominous environment and suddenly the game gives you a gun. You don't feel safer somehow, quite the opposite. The price is great, so if you like spooky walking sims, it's a must-get, I think. Dishonored 2. The story of the second game is set 15 years after the events of the first one. Here, another worldly usurper has seized the Emperor's throne, leaving the fate of the Isles hanging in the balance. He will travel beyond the legendary streets of the once dazzling coastal city, track down the enemies and take back what's rightfully yours. You will be able to play as Emily or Corvo and bring their own perspectives and emotional responses to the world and story. Each character has their own set of powers, gadgets and uniquely tuned weapons, and only you will decide whether you fight your way through the city streets or sneak across the rooftops. And of course, which enemies you decide to slay or to spare. People are saying that if you play the first part, this will feel like a reboot with more stuff. That is not a bad thing, keeping in mind that the first part was a masterpiece, and the review score is around 90%. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!